Welcome, viewers, to an eye-opening journey through the relentless forces of nature that shape and shake the United States. The land where power meets unpredictability and survival is often tested by the wrath of natural disasters. This isn't just another video. This is your front row seat to the most gripping, heart-pounding, cinematic saga of Earth's fury. Picture this: vast skies darkening with ominous clouds, wind howling like a freight train, ground trembling beneath your feet, and the overwhelming roar of chaos as tornadoes, wildfires, hurricanes, earthquakes, and floods unleash their catastrophic fury. The United States is a theater of natural disasters, a battleground where humanity's resilience meets nature's raw power head-on. From the violent tornado alleys of the Midwest to the smoldering wildfires of California, from the devastating hurricanes pounding the Gulf Coast to the deep rumblings of earthquakes shaking the West Coast, each event tells a story of destruction, survival, and rebirth. The American landscape is scarred and shaped by these colossal forces that command respect and demand preparation. In this gripping exposé, we peel back the layers of devastation to reveal not only the terrifying impacts, but also the incredible human spirit that rises amid the ruins. You will witness jaw-dropping footage, hear heart-wrenching survivor stories, and uncover the science behind these natural marvels. This is more than news. It's a cinematic experience, a narrative that grips your soul and compels you to understand, prepare, and stand strong. Stay with us as we dive into the fury, chaos, and beauty of the natural disasters that define the American experience. This is the raw truth, unfiltered and explosive. Get ready, because what you're about to witness will leave you breathless. The raw fury of natural disasters in the United States. The United States, a vast and powerful land, stretching from the icy peaks of Alaska to the sun-baked deserts of Arizona, from the hurricane-battered shores of Florida to the earthquake-prone fault lines of California. This nation stands as a testament to human endurance and technological progress. Yet it remains relentlessly vulnerable to the untamed forces of nature. Here, natural disasters don't just happen. They roar, rip, and devastate with a cinematic fury that demands attention and respect. Picture this: ominous skies darken as swirling clouds gather momentum, spinning into violent tornadoes that tear through towns in seconds. The roar of these twisters is like a freight train barreling through neighborhoods, ripping apart everything in its path. Homes reduced to rubble, trees uprooted, lives shattered in a heartbeat. This is Tornado Alley, the heart of America's tempest, where hundreds of tornadoes churn annually, reminding everyone that nature's power is indiscriminate and absolute. Across the coast, hurricanes approach with terrifying grace, massive swirling storms carrying winds that exceed 150 miles per hour, battering cities and coasts with rain, wind, and storm surges that flood streets and destroy infrastructure. These giants of the atmosphere aren't just weather events. They are forces of nature with the power to erase entire communities, leaving behind stories of survival, loss, and incredible resilience. But the fury doesn't stop there. Beneath the surface, the earth groans and shakes as powerful earthquakes ripple along fault lines, unleashing destruction in an instant. From the San Andreas Fault in California to lesser-known seismic zones, these tremors remind us that the ground beneath our feet is alive with energy. waiting for its moment to strike. And then there are wildfires, scorching, relentless, and unpredictable. Each year, millions of acres in states like California, Oregon, and Colorado burn in massive blazes fueled by drought, wind, and rising temperatures. The flames leap across landscapes, swallowing forests and homes, turning skies red and orange in apocalyptic displays that captivate and terrify millions watching from afar. Floods, too, carve their destructive paths, overwhelming rivers, cities, and farmland alike. Whether from torrential rains, hurricanes, or snowmelt, floods sweep away everything in their wake: homes, roads, memories, forcing communities to rebuild from the waterlogged ruins. Yet amid this devastation, the story of America's natural disasters is also a story of incredible human courage. Emergency responders rush into danger, scientists work tirelessly to predict and mitigate impacts, and ordinary citizens band together to rebuild stronger than before. It is a narrative as old as the nation itself, of facing overwhelming odds with grit, determination, and hope. The Atlantic Ocean churns with a furious energy, spawning some of the most terrifying and destructive storms on Earth: hurricanes. These colossal tempests, with their swirling bands of torrential rain and relentless winds, have long been nature's most fearsome weapons, and the United States stands on the front line of their wrath. From the Gulf Coast to the eastern seaboard, the hurricane season brings with it a tension so thick you can almost taste the salt in the air. Imagine the sky, once calm and blue, turning an ominous shade of gray and black as hurricane clouds gather with unstoppable momentum. Winds escalate, shaking trees like matchsticks, and the ocean responds in kind, sending towering waves crashing into the shorelines. The air becomes heavy, saturated with the promise of destruction. Then, with a roar like the opening of 1,000 gates, the hurricane makes landfall. Cities like New Orleans, Miami, and Houston have seen their streets turned into rivers, their homes battered by wind and water, and their communities forever altered. The raw power of hurricanes is indiscriminate. It doesn't care about wealth, status, or preparedness. It crashes through neighborhoods with the force of a freight train, ripping roofs off homes, snapping power lines, and flooding entire districts. The aftermath is a chaotic mix of destruction and survival, where every story tells of loss, resilience, and the unyielding spirit of those who lived through it. The infamous Hurricane Katrina of 2005 remains etched in the American psyche, a brutal reminder of how nature's fury can overwhelm even the most advanced cities. The levees failed, the waters surged, and a vibrant city was submerged beneath the floodwaters. But even in the darkest moments, stories of heroism emerged. First responders, volunteers, and ordinary citizens braved the floods and devastation to save lives and rebuild hope from the ruins. Hurricanes are not just natural disasters. They are complex meteorological phenomena fueled by warm ocean waters and atmospheric conditions that combine to create these swirling monsters. Scientists monitor every movement, every change in pressure and temperature, racing against time to provide warnings that can save lives. But despite advances in technology and preparedness, the sheer scale and unpredictability of hurricanes keep the threat very real. The Gulf Coast, with its sprawling cities and vast wetlands, is a battleground where the forces of nature and human civilization collide every year. Residents brace for the storm, securing homes, stocking supplies, and praying that their communities will be spared. Yet when the hurricane strikes, the devastation is often profound, and recovery can take years. Eastward, the Atlantic hurricanes follow paths that bring destruction to the Carolinas, Georgia, and up the eastern seaboard. Each storm writes a new chapter of loss and recovery, but also of courage and community. Emergency services coordinate evacuations, shelters open their doors to displaced families, and the nation watches as news footage captures the storm's path of destruction. In this part of America's natural disaster story, the hurricane is both villain and teacher. It reveals weaknesses in infrastructure and preparedness, forcing governments and citizens alike to rethink how to build safer, more resilient communities. It also shows the power of unity, where people come together to face adversity, rebuild, and prepare for the inevitable next storm. Yet the threat is evolving. Climate change has intensified hurricane activity, making storms stronger, wetter, and slower moving, increasing their destructive potential. Scientists warn that future hurricanes will challenge existing defense systems, demanding even greater innovation and resilience. As we delve deeper into the stories of those who have survived hurricanes, from families to first responders, we uncover not just tales of destruction, but also hope. Hope that the human spirit, when faced with nature's might, will rise stronger than ever. This cinematic saga of wind and water reminds us all that while nature's fury is unstoppable, so too is human courage and resilience. Beneath the tranquil surface of the United States, a restless force stirs. A force so silent, yet so devastating, it can rewrite the story of entire cities in a matter of seconds. Earthquakes, those sudden, violent shakes of the Earth's crust, have long haunted the western frontier of this vast nation, especially along the notorious San Andreas Fault. But their reach extends far beyond California, reminding us that the ground beneath us is never truly still. Imagine the calm of a sunny day shattered by a sudden, thunderous roar from deep underground. Buildings sway like trees in a storm, glass shatters, and roads buckle. The earth itself seems to ripple and convulse as if enraged. In an instant, lives are thrown into chaos. This is the terrifying reality of an earthquake, a force both invisible and unstoppable. California, known for its breathtaking coastline and vibrant cities, lives under the constant shadow of seismic threat. The San Andreas Fault, a massive crack stretching over 800 miles, holds a tension that builds over decades, waiting for the inevitable release that sends shockwaves across the land. Every tremor serves as a reminder, the big one is coming. The memory of past earthquakes haunts the collective consciousness, moments frozen in time when the earth unleashed its fury. The 1906 San Francisco earthquake, with its roaring firestorms and shattered streets, reshaped the city forever. More recently, the 1994 Northridge earthquake rattled Los Angeles, causing billions in damage and countless stories of survival. But earthquakes are not just a West Coast problem. From the New Madrid seismic zone in the central U.S. to fault lines in Alaska, seismic activity reminds the nation of the power hidden beneath its feet. In places where earthquakes are less frequent, the shock waves can catch communities unprepared, amplifying the destruction. The science of earthquakes is a race against time and nature. Seismologists monitor fault lines, studying tremors and stress buildups in the Earth's crust. Early warning systems aim to give precious seconds for people to seek safety, but the unpredictability of these events keeps the threat ever present. When the ground shakes, emergency responders are thrust into action, navigating collapsed roads, fires, and downed power lines to rescue those trapped in rubble. Communities come together in the aftermath, piecing lives back together amid the ruins. In this part of our journey through America's natural disasters, the earthquake stands as a brutal reminder of nature's power lurking beneath our feet. It challenges engineers, city planners, and governments to build resilient infrastructure that can withstand the unexpected. It reminds individuals of the importance of preparedness, simple actions that can save lives when the earth roars. As urban areas grow and populations increase, the stakes become higher. The potential for devastation rises with every new building and sprawling neighborhood. Yet with innovation and awareness, the nation strives to mitigate the risks, learning from the past to protect the future. Earthquakes are silent, sudden, and devastating, but they also reveal the strength of the human spirit. From rescue teams risking their lives to families rebuilding homes and hope, the story of earthquakes is not just one of destruction, but of resilience and renewal. Join us as we explore the science, stories, and solutions surrounding earthquakes. A force of nature that demands respect, vigilance, and courage. The earth beneath us is alive, and its roar is a call to action for every American. As the earth shakes and the winds howl, another set of relentless natural forces ravages the United States: wildfires and floods. These twin disasters bring with them contrasting but equally devastating images: scorching flames that consume everything in their path, and surging waters that drown landscapes and disrupt lives. They are nature's dual reminder of power and unpredictability, sweeping across the land with little warning, yet leaving lasting scars. The West Coast, with its dry summers and drought-stricken forests, has become a battleground against ever-intensifying wildfires. Picture endless waves of fire racing across hills and valleys, devouring forests that have stood for centuries. The sky turns an eerie shade of orange and red, thick smoke blankets the air, and the very earth seems to crackle under the heat. Towns are evacuated, homes reduced to ashes, and wildlife driven from their habitats. Wildfires are a fiery force of destruction, fueled by climate change, high winds, and dry vegetation that turns entire regions into tinderboxes. The 2018 Camp Fire in California stands as one of the deadliest and most destructive wildfires in U.S. history, reducing the town of Paradise to ruins and claiming dozens of lives. The visual of burning homes and fleeing residents captures the raw, devastating power of nature. Yet amid the ashes, stories emerge of bravery: firefighters battling blaze fronts, communities coming together to support evacuees, and the slow but determined process of rebuilding. Wildfires are not just a threat to forests, they are a growing menace to suburban and urban areas, encroaching on human settlements as the climate crisis worsens. Fire seasons are longer, flames burn hotter, and the battle to contain them grows ever more urgent. On the other end of the spectrum lie floods, waters that rise, engulfing fields, cities, and highways. Torrential rains, hurricanes, and snowmelt combine to swell rivers beyond their banks, turning neighborhoods into lakes. The damage is immediate and widespread. Cars submerged, homes inundated, families displaced. Floods are silent invaders, creeping into basements and streets, washing away memories and infrastructure alike. The 2017 Hurricane Harvey flooded Houston with unprecedented rainfall, dropping over 50 inches of rain in some areas. Streets became rivers, and rescue boats became lifelines. The aftermath revealed not just the force of water, but the incredible spirit of community. Neighbors helping neighbors, volunteers mobilizing, and a city slowly rising from the deluge. Floods also highlight the challenges of urban planning and climate adaptation. Aging infrastructure struggles to handle increased precipitation, and many communities find themselves unprepared for the scale of the waters. As climate change accelerates, experts warn that floods will become more frequent and severe, demanding new strategies for resilience and recovery. Together, wildfires and floods paint a stark picture of a nation grappling with the extremes of nature. Their power is devastating, but the human stories within reveal strength, hope, and an unyielding will to survive. Firefighters, emergency responders, scientists, and citizens all play vital roles in facing these challenges. In this final chapter of our cinematic journey through America's natural disasters, we see the full spectrum of nature's might, from the fiery infernos that sweep across the West to the floodwaters that drown the heartlands. These disasters test the limits of human endurance, innovation, and community spirit. The United States stands resilient, learning and adapting, always prepared to face the next storm, the next quake, the next blaze, and the next flood. Because in the face of nature's fury, humanity's courage and determination shine brightest. Thank you for watching. Let's keep the conversation going. Hello, everyone. We're incredibly grateful that you stayed with us until the very end of this video. Your time and attention mean everything to us here at Best of Moment. Thank you for choosing to share a part of your day with us. If this video resonated with you or brought you any inspiration, please consider subscribing to our channel, Best of Moment. Hit the subscribe button and tap the notification bell so you never miss out on the meaningful, emotional, and thought-provoking stories we're excited to share. We're committed to bringing you moments that move the heart and spark reflection, and we'd love for you to be part of this journey. Now we want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on today's topic? Have you had a similar experience or perhaps a different perspective? Drop your comments below. Your voice matters deeply to us. This channel isn't just about videos. It's about creating a vibrant community where we can all connect, learn, and grow together. Feel free to jump into the conversation, ask questions, share your insights, or even engage in friendly debates. We read every single comment and truly look forward to connecting with each of you. Thank you once again for your support and for being here with us. Stay tuned for more unforgettable moments right here on Best of Moment. Take care and see you in the next video.